Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title, today's video I'm going to be talking to you about some things that I do at home with my toddler to homeschool him while we are currently in this crazy state of the world and we're all just, trapped in our houses and moms and dads are now having to wear even more hats than we already were wearing. So for our family, I am a standard work from home employee. So that part of my life has not changed, but having Mason and Caleb here 24/7, having to still work my job full time, thankfully, and I should say, because I know there are a lot of people who are out of work right now, who have been laid off or furloughed, or their salaries have been decreased by a certain percentage. So first, let me say I'm very thankful that I am still working and the status of my employment and salary have not changed one bit. And that I do have a job that I am able to work from home. But at the same time, it is very difficult to do my job the way that I was doing it, and to keep the same mental state that I had when I do have two young children. As you know, Mason is 3 and Caleb is 2 at home with me 24/7. And they are at those ages where they are very rambunctious and very needy, and just sometimes you feel like your head's gonna explode. Anyone who has children that age or whose children are older, so you've been through that stage, you know exactly what I mean. But in addition, like I said, to having to still work my job full time, I am being mommy 24/7, chef 24/7, maid 24/7, referee 24/7, because I have two children who are very close in age and they are both males, so they fight a lot. It is just exhausting, but it is a job that we must do. So while they are home, I have been focusing a lot on homeschooling Mason because he is 3. He was supposed to start a new school in August. Jared and I were enrolling him in a private school that had a special pre-kindergarten program. And then he would then transition from that program into their kindergarten program because he is supposed to go to kindergarten in the fall of 2021. Right now, because of all that's going on, it doesn't look like that's really going to happen. Hopefully of course he'll still start kindergarten next year, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to go to the school come August, which I am actually really bummed about because I was really looking forward to that. But that's neither here nor there. So while we are home though, I do still want to prepare him within this next year before he starts grade school. So I just wanted to come on because I have posted some videos on my Instagram page of things that I've been doing with him at home, and I've gotten a lot of my online mommy friends asking me where they can get these items from. So I figured I should make a video because I'm sure many of you are also at home with your children who are now no longer in school or preschool or pre-K or daycare, and you're looking for things to do where they are still learning type things so that they're just not, sitting in front of a television all day or playing with toys all day. They are getting some type of education. Okay, the first item I'm going to talk about is probably Mason's most favorite thing to do, his most favorite learning activity, because that's what we call all of these. We call it either his learning activity or his schoolwork, and he does look forward to doing learning in school every day, but he does have his favorites, and his favorite is this Osmo. It's called Little Genius. Oh, by the way, please excuse my nails because they're slowly falling off. But it's called Osmo, and this is the Little Genius starter kit. And pretty much what this is you have to have like an iPad or a tablet, or I think maybe even a Kindle might work. And based on which electronic item you have, that determines which Osmo system you will purchase. So you'll definitely have to have one of the systems prior to purchasing this. We have an iPad, so we purchased the Osmo for iPads. And then we got the starter kit, which comes with 4 games. And it says for ages 3 through 5, pre-reading, storytelling, and fine motor skill development. And I'll insert some clips of Mason doing some work with the Osmo, which will kind of better give you an idea of what it is.
Place this piece down.
Like that?
And finally this piece.
You want to be like that?
When you're done making the letter, tap here.
I didn't know, because you see it like that. And
That looks good. All right, if you're all happy with it, hit the green button.
I'm done. I'll do that.
Yep.
Get ready.
Hands in
Keep
your lap.
Hands away from the playmat. Abracadabra! Presenting your creation. What an amazing show. I'm so proud of you.
But I really like it. So it's a computer-esque tool. And my most favorite game that comes with this is the alphabet one. And I like it a lot because it chooses different letters and then it shows them how to create that letter with all these little different pieces that come with it. And again, I'm going to insert a clip so you'll see. It helps them, it teaches them the sound of the letter. What sound does B make?
Boop, 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 boop.
Well done.
Good job. It teaches them words that start with the letter.
Can you clear the playmat and create a happy face?
Uh-huh.
Here's one way you could create it.
Oh!
All
When
right,
you're done, tap here.
so clear your paymat and make the happy face using the same colors he used.
Okay, the eyes go in here. Oh, okay. The eyes go in the clothes like that.
Okay.
And Mama, where's the O one? So
I think you're gonna have to make a O.
You mean you whiskey?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
About that,
Okay. What else do you need? One more piece.
I know.
It's a lot of repetition, which of course, as most of us probably know at this point, repetition is one of the key things to learning for children at such young ages. So I truly, truly like this, and he loves it because it's animated, it's on the iPad, which makes him it feels like a game to him when it's real. I mean, I guess it is a game, but it's really a learning tool. But to him, it feels like a game, so he really, really, really enjoys doing it. He gets so excited when he does it right, and the Osmo character that is on here tells them whether they get something right or whether they get something wrong. But it's cute the way that they do it so that it doesn't discourage them from continuing and wanting to still try the different letters. Okay, another item that we use often are workbooks. So these are the 3 main workbooks that we have right now, and it's the big preschool workbook, the big kindergarten workbook, and then we have this Scholastic White Clean workbook. I really, really like this one because it is a white clean workbook. It does come with its own marker with the book, and what you do is they can work in this book, but then you can wipe it clean so then they can redo things. So it's like you get many uses out of it, whereas with these type of workbooks, once they do something, that's it and it's done, and then once they complete the workbook, you have to buy another one. And because, like I said before, repetition is so important with learning at this age, I like the white clean workbooks because they can keep doing it and keep repeating and keep repeating, because just doing it one time doesn't necessarily mean that they've got it and now they're going to remember. So it's like they can keep practicing. So for example, this workbook is tracing, and it's tracing letters, numbers, and words. So as you can see here, hopefully, Mason has traced letters, B and C. Let's see, oops, I don't think he did that one. Oh, on here, he was tracing D and E. And then I can, like I said, I can wipe this clean, and then I can have him do it maybe next week. They start tracing the same letters again, just so that he's practicing writing these same letters that he's gonna have to write constantly in life. It has to touch. Good job. You're going too fast. It needs to be as big as this. The whole thing. Try again. Try this one.
Okay.
All the way from the top. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. They also, like I said, have numbers. So let me see if we did any numbers yet. Oh, we did. So see he's practiced tracing some numbers as well.
Mama, did you follow? Mama, did
Good job.
Mama, are you going to your work?
Yeah, I'm gonna do my work too. All right, go ahead. Trace your next number.
Like me and Kayla?
Mm-hmm. We all got to do our work.
Wow. Mama said. I did it.
Let me see. Good job. All right, you have one more. Take your time. Up.
Woo!
Yeah, I don't know. That one kind of look a little funky.
It's not funky.
I really like I said, all you then do is have to take like a paper towel. I used to take a damp paper towel, wipe it clean, then take a dry one to remove the moisture, and then he can start again. The only thing I will say is the marker that it comes with is kind of crappy. So after 2 weeks, the marker dried out, so I had to go buy my own markers to replace it that will last a little bit longer.
This one.
Mm-hmm. The lowercase letters are a little bit harder.
No, they're not. I can do it.
You know, I know. But these workbooks, again, they are still great as far as learning. I just don't like that you only get one use out of them. We're not currently working in the big kindergarten workbook because, like I said, he is only 3. He will be 4 in July, but he is only 3, so we're not quite here yet. So we are focusing on this workbook, which is the preschool workbook, and its skill areas include pre-writing skills, alphabet, colors and shapes, following directions, numbers, early math, and more. And this is for ages 3 through 5. And the big kindergarten workbook is for ages 5 through 6. So in this workbook, I don't know how I'm going to find any pages that he's actually done because, like I said, once he finishes them, I pull them out since we're done and I remove them. But I will insert a clip of him doing some work out of this workbook so you can see. There's your uppercase Z. Where's your lowercase z?
Right there.
Okay, connect your line
Like this.
from Z to Z. Good job.
I did it. I know I can do it.
There's your uppercase X. Where's your... But it has a lot of things. So, for example, here's a page where they're focusing on the letter N. So they have to color the narwhal. Narwhal, of course, starts with N. And then on this line, on this page, it says draw lines from the pictures that begin with N to the letter N. So any word, of course, that starts with the letter N, they then draw lines to, which is great for letter recognition, learning words. I really do like this. It also has numbers in here. It has, so you can practice like paths. So like they would have to draw the line to get to the girl to the umbrella. I'm trying to see if I can find one with numbers. Oh, they have connect the dots. So with numbers and letters, this one is a connect the dot with the letters. So of course, we all know how to play connect the dots. Actually, connect the dots used to be one of my favorite things to do when I was a little kid. He's not quite there yet so we haven't done the dots yet. But then here's a perfect page that we'll probably work on soon. And it is the entire alphabet tracing. So he just practices tracing all the uppercase letters. And that's what we've really been focusing on. And here's a page with numbers. So see, it has like number activities as well. It's pretty thick. I'm trying to see how many pages does it have. This one has 320 pages. So lots and lots of activities to do. All right, something else that I've been using as a learning tool with Mason is this Boggle Jr game. It's Boggle Jr, your preschooler's first Boggle game. Preschool ages 3+. Now, I will be honest, I don't use this in the exact way that you are supposed to. So the way it works is it comes with cards. Actually, let me see if you can see on the back, kind of. It comes with these cards, and then you put it inside this little compartment, and it has a flap. So it has a picture of there's words at the bottom, and then there's a picture at the top. So for example, this word says frog, and then there's a picture of a frog. So you put it inside this thing, and when there's a flap, and when you flip it up, they can still see the picture, but they can't see the word. So what they're supposed to do is be able to say, oh, this is a bear. And then they're supposed to use the little cubes that have letters all around it to find the letters to spell out the word bear. Okay, as I've mentioned, Mason is only 3, and he is not spelling words blindly, should I say. So the way I've been using it for him until he gets there is I don't use the flap. So I will put the card up, and it'll have a picture of the frog. It'll have the word frog at the bottom, and I have him then find the letters to match the letters that are on the picture. To match the letters that are on the card. So he'll see the F-R-O-G. He then finds F-R-O-G, and he spells it out the same way he sees it on the card. And that's helping him learn, that's helping him with spelling, but then also helping him with word recognition related to objects or animals or just any type of picture, I guess.
I think this is mine.
Is it the right way?
No.
There we go. So what word did you spell?
Ice.
What word?
Ice.
Ice. Good job. So he's now correlating the word frog with an actual frog, and the letters he's now learning as well. So he's learning F and R and O and G. It's just like a multitude of things going in to this one learning activity. He really does enjoy this as well. Something else that we do that I actually do with both Mason and Caleb are I purchased these I Spy books. So this one is I Spy Everything. This is I Spy Animals. And with these books, it's, for example, it gives you a letter. So this says, I spy with my little eye something beginning with K. So it shows you the letter K, and then they have to figure out which of these animals starts with the letter K. So of course you have a kangaroo, so that would be it. And then on the very next page, when you flip it over, you see the kangaroo. Now again, Mason and especially Caleb are not reading yet, but we are starting to practice the sounds that letters make. The Osmo tool system that I first spoke of actually does that as well. So that's really helpful. So the way that I get him to actually find the correct answer is when I say, okay, Macy, I start with my little eye, something that starts with K. What sound does the K make? And then we'll go, k, k, k. So then he'll look at all the pictures and he'll figure out which of those animals starts with a k, k, k. And then it's k, k, kangaroo. So then that's usually how we get him to pick the right answer. And then this one is the I Spy Everything. And it's the exact same thing, except instead of it just being a focus of animals, it's a bunch of different items that they can choose from. And something else that I'm using for both boys are flashcards. I know flashcards are very old school, and a lot of new educators don't particularly care for them, but I do. I think that they work. I think that they're helpful. And again, it's something that you can reuse over and over again, which I love, and my pockets love too. So for Mason, I have been using these Disney Junior Mickey number and counting cards. What number is this?
5.
Good job. What number is this?
1.
Good job. See, look at you on a roll already. Uh-oh, this is a tricky one for us. What number is this? It's a lollipop that's upside down. What number?
7.
6.
6.
6. That's okay. What number is this?
4.
Good job. What number is this? A 1 and a 0 makes... When mommy goes like this, what is that? How many is that? A 1 and a 0 makes... A 1 and a 0 makes... Good job. What number did mommy tell you looks like a snowman? Come on, you can do it. I know you can do it. Think about all your numbers.
It looks like good. It looks like good. It looks like a 8.
Good job. What number?
8.
Good job.
Woo! I'm a good number, Mama.
Mm-hmm.
I learned this number.
What number is this?
7.
Good job. What number?
7.
Good job. What number is this? It's a lollipop.
Mm-hmm.
What number is a lollipop? You can do it. What number?
Is
9.
9.
9. Yes, we get our 9 and our 6 confused. Those are tricky. That's okay.
That's tricky.
What number is this?
3.
Good job. And last one, I know you know this one. What number is this?
2.
Good job. And for Caleb, I've been using these Disney Junior Mickey color and shape cards. Can you show mommy yellow?
Yellow.
Good job, baby. Can you show mommy red?
Red.
Good job. Can you show mommy green?
Green.
Good job. So we've been focusing a lot on colors with Caleb and a lot on numbers with Mason. Something else that I recommend that you can do while homeschooling are getting some like learning type books. So for example, this is the National Geographic Kids, The Ultimate Book of Sharks. My children are really into animals and ocean and sharks and whales and lions and things like that. So they absolutely love this book. We've actually sat down and gone through the whole book a few times, and it helps them learn the different sharks, the different whales. What's that called?
A whale.
What kind of whale?
An orca whale.
Good job. You're so
We
smart.
watched all this today, right?
We did watch that on the Discovery Channel. This shark.
A hamster.
Good job.
My phone.
It helps them understand what makes them different, how they look, what part of the ocean they can find them in, or what part of the world they can find them in. It's so much information. I mean, to be completely honest with you, I've learned stuff since we've been reading and going through these books because I don't know that much about sharks or whales for that matter. So it tells you, what's the biggest shark and what's the meanest shark and what sharks, aren't really that aggressive and won't really bother you if you come in close encounter with. So I really, really, really like this, and it's been helpful. And also we have this National Geographic Kids, Little Kids First Big Book of Why. And I talked about this a few months ago on my Instagram page. I like this book a lot because it basically has answers to those questions that at some point your child may ask you. So for example, it says, why do I have a belly button? And as parents, we get asked why a lot. I've actually just recently made why a naughty word in our house because I'm just so tired of hearing it. So if someone says why, Caleb will say, oh, you can't say that, because I told them stop saying why, stop asking why. But it's actually a good thing when they do, because it means they're, inquisitive. But it's like, so why do I have a belly button? And rather than you making up some reason as to why we all have belly buttons, you can actually give them the correct answer. And then it's like, why do some people have twins? And this is a really fun one. We've actually done this one before because, as I'm sure a lot of you have figured by now, Jared is a twin, Mason and Caleb's dad. So that's really exciting. They clearly know the difference between their dad and their uncle, but they do know that they are twins and that they have the same face, as Mason likes to say. And Mason has asked, well, why does daddy and uncle have to have the same face? So you're able to give them a real reason as to why they look just alike. So it's a really good educational book and it can be educational for both child and parent. So I highly recommend. And keeping on the same page as, I guess, the National Geographic, Disney Plus, we are subscribers to Disney Plus, and I know there are a lot of people who are anti-screens. I am not anti-screens. Screens help out a lot. But if you are not anti-screens, I would highly recommend the Disney Plus streaming service. And right now they have, I would definitely recommend it right now because the month of April is Earth Month. So they have a lot of documentaries on about different things. So we have watched whales, we have watched dolphins, we have watched sharks, we have watched elephants, we have watched the rainforest. I mean, and it's so educational. And again, one of those things where it's educational, not just for child, for the parent as well, because you're bound to learn something that you didn't know about these things. And they absolutely, at first they're like, they're not going to sit through this. They're going to be so bored, but they do. And they actually request some days, like, can we watch another animal show? And they love it. And they love seeing the, you know, the lions and the hyenas fight, like the real lions and the real hyenas fight, because they are fans, of course, of Lion King, so they've seen it in cartoon form. So I would highly, highly recommend that as well, to maybe sometimes, you know, take a break from the traditional learning. And just like when we were in school, at least for my age, when you used to see the teacher roll in the cart with the TV, you would get all excited. It's the same thing with, you know, homeschooling. Let them get excited that they're getting kind of like a TV activity. I have several different apps on the iPad that I like to use as learning tools for Mason. This one, that one, and that one all go to his Osmo learning tool, and the rest are just apps on their own. But my favorite app to use outside of the Osmo tool is the Kiddopia app. And I really like this app because you can choose different levels. So you can either choose the preschool level or the kindergarten level. I currently have Mason on the preschool level. And once I feel as though he's mastered all of the preschool things, and of course we will eventually upgrade to the kindergarten level, but he does not start kindergarten until fall of 2021. So we do have time. But there's, as you can see, multiple groups that you can go into, and then within each of these groups there's subgroups of different things you can do. So I'll just go through to some of our favorite. They have everything. They have games, they have songs, which are all like learning songs, they have math, they have reading, they have tracing, they have writing. So we love the math whiz section of this, and as you can see, like I said, you can choose either the pre-K or the kindergarten levels. And we are on pre-K, and you can do counting 1 through 5, and then we'll have different activities for him to do for that.
How many dots are there?
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 here.
4. Fantastic. How many bananas are there?
1.
1. Well done. How many boats are there?
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 here.
4. Correct answer. Put.
You could do counting 6 through 10. Same thing, different activities involving all numbers 6 through 10. Compare, positions, shapes, classify, patterns, size. Another group that we frequent often is this first group with the dog, and this is all about letters. So you can do tracing, you can do letter recognition with words. What kind of animal is that?
You mean the monkey?
A monkey. So that spells the word, look, this spells monkey.
Yeah.
So what you have to do is you have to drag the letters from up here to match the letters down there.
Okay.
There you go. Good job. All right. Now the next letter is an O. Where do you see another O?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, do the same thing. Good job. Your next letter is an N. Where do you see the next N?
Right there.
Good job. Now we have to find a K.
Okay. What you mean right there?
No, what number looks like the, or letter looks like the K?
Right there.
Good job. All the way down. Good job. Now we have to find an E.
I eat right there.
Good job.
Puppy.
Now Y. Tap it. Okay, now move it.
It's Bear's monkey.
You can do spelling. You can do opposites.
That is different. That's different.
What else is different?
This is different. And this one is different too. Yeah, this is all different.
Okay, you have 2 more things to find that are different.
Yeah. This one has good, but this one do has good.
Okay. Good job.
Now.
One more thing.
He died for now.
Good job.
That one has a mouth.
Uh-huh. Yay!
A cheese. Not like a cheese.
Mice like to eat cheese.
I
Okay.
don't think that one is different or is that or that. Mama, guess what?
What?
Mama. I saw different. Got it. You.
Go ahead, hit the one that's different.
Wow. And this one has wow. Yeah. Do it.
Good job.
Got it.
You could do another form of tracing. Let's see, I don't know if we've ever done this one. What is this? And then you just hit something. Oh, so this is like a puzzle. So you're building the bear. So they have to find the shapes on this side that would match over here. Like I said, it's a really good app. You do have to pay for it. I think it's either $6.99 a month and you pay as you go, or you could do $4.99 a month, which would be a one-time fee of $50. But they do let you do like a 1-week trial to see if you like it before they actually start charging you. At first I was a little skeptical because I hate any type of apps that make me pay, but it's actually well worth it because there's so, as you can see, there's so much to do. And the last few items that I'm going to go through are like at home, made at home type things, because I do know we are all told to stay in our homes right now. So there may be some people who don't have the ability to get their hands on some of the items that I talked about because they really aren't, I guess, technically essential items, so you shouldn't be going to the store to get them. And I do know that ordering online, there have been some issues with it and a lot of delays. So if you do place like an online order and you're waiting for your workbooks to come in or your Osmo to come in, there are some other things you can do in the meantime. So for example, we have a lot of tracing. Let me see if you can see those. There we go. Tracing activities that I do with Mason, and these you can just make on your computer and then print out at home. You never have to leave your house. And they're still learning activities. So we have it's called name tracing practice. So as you can see, it says Mason. Oh, can you see that? Oh my gosh. Okay. It says Mason, and there's several pages of it just so that he can continue to practice writing his name. Good job. You have to do A. S.
Now it's time to do
O. N. Good job. Now do the next one. Then we have like this worksheet, which it says let's identify numbers. And as you can see, so that's the number 1. And it's like read and color it. So then he would say 1, and then he would color that, and then circle it. So right here, you're just supposed to circle all the number 1s that you see. And then it's trace it. So then you trace the number 1, write it. You try to get them to write it on their own over here. and then this is actually the word spelling out 1, and then they would trace that. And then down here they would practice again writing the 1 into the squares. And
It's here and numbers will wait over here. Numbers right here. Right here. And this is the last one.
well, you didn't circle it.
Oh. My mom. I like blue.
Take your time. Don't be sloppy.
I like blue. I like ABCs.
Good job. All of them.
Mommy, I'm gonna use this, Mommy. Mommy, I'm gonna use this.
All right,
Mommy.
and then trace the words. 4.
4.
It kind of just goes down. We had the same thing for like the number 2. The exact same activity. This one is another name one. It's all about my name. So his name is at the top, and he would just trace that. He would draw a little picture of himself, and then it's like numbers, number of letters. So he count how many letters are in his name and write that. And then what is the first letter in his name? What's the last letter in his name? How many consonants are in his name? How many vowels are in his name? We haven't actually done any of these yet because it's a little bit more advanced, but just have it on hand for when we get there, because we will eventually. Some other fun type at-home activities you can make are these, like number printouts, and then just laminate them so that they can use the use like a dry erase marker. And again, it's something that you can use over and over again rather than just throwing away and having to make all over. So it's like you take the marker, of course, and he would just trace the 2s, trace the 3s, just different numbers that he can practice tracing. And then we just wipe it clean and he can do it again. I have these folders. So this is Caleb's learning folder, Mason's learning folder. And inside them are just, so my shapes. So it's, you know, in here it's stapled in, and you can just go over the shapes, and you can do the colors as well. Like I said, we're working on colors with Caleb. And then it's numbers. So for number recognition, same thing, more numbers, just going up to like the number 20. And you can turn these into like games, like maybe get like some Cheerios and say, put a Cheerio on the number 10 or this or that. Colors, again, so that you can practice colors. Macy knows all his colors, but this would be helpful for like Caleb. Shapes as well. This is for them to like trace shapes. Alphabet, so it helps with letter recognition. Lowercase letters. What else do we have in here? More shapes. Down here we have the different months so that you can go over the months of the year. They can learn. This is the months also, just in a different format to help with recognition. We have the seasons so that they know the different seasons, and, you know, of course, explain the season that we're in. Though right now in Maryland and DC, it's completely confusing because last week it was 80 degrees and today it's like 40. And then we have the different weather, just little cute helpful things that they'll eventually need to know and that they would learn if they were at school. Also, we have just like more tracing. So for example, he did this, tracing of the M, so he just had to color the M because I'm also trying to practice with him coloring inside the lines, and then just tracing the uppercase and lowercase M. This is like a little number game that you can make at home, print out, and for example, so it says around, oh, I don't know if you guys can see this, okay. Around and round and around we go. When we get home, we have a 0. So just like cute little rhymes to kind of help them remember the numbers. This one says, around and back on the railroad track, 2, 2, 2, 2. Like, choo, choo, get it? What is this? Okay, around a tree, that's the way to make a 3. Across the sky and down from heaven, that's the way to make a 7. So I'm not gonna go through all of them because I'm sure it's kind of annoying, sorry. But as you can see, it's cute where a child will enjoy it, but it's also helpful and, you know, they're learning. And then again, more of the tracing letters where they would like practice coloring so that they color and stay inside the lines, and at the bottom half, practice tracing the letter just so that they are becoming comfortable with writing until they are then ready to do freehand writing. The last thing that I would suggest as far as learning activities is, though we are, in the house right now until we don't know when yet, I have tried to do at least, if not daily walks, at least a few times a week walks to take the boys outside, let them stretch their legs, let them get some fresh air, let them run around a bit, because again, they are boys, they are 2 and 3, so they're at that age. So when we do go outside, we try to make it a little bit fun. So we'll do let's do a scavenger hunt. And I think the last time we went out, we did one, and it was like you had to find a yellow flower. So then that's helping with color recognition. It's like you have to find a stick longer than your foot. You have to find a gray rock, or a rock as big as, your kneecap or something like that. So it's like you're helping, it's fun and it's a game and it's something for them to do outdoors, but then also it is still incorporating learning because you're working, with this one we were doing colors, we're doing shapes and sizes and opposites and similarities and things like that. So it is still a useful tool, as well as a break for everybody to kind of just get some fresh air and again stretch those legs, because this can be a very trying time, even for the most introverted person, and I myself am a huge introvert, but even for me, I'm becoming a little restless these days. I notice that my children are becoming a little restless, so it's helpful to try to kind of keep yourself as busy as possible so that you don't have a lot of idle time. Another just suggestion and tip I would give to the whole homeschooling thing is patience. You have to have patience. One of the benefits to this, I would say, is that it's one-on-one learning or one-on-two learning or whatever, however many children you have. Whereas in a classroom setting, it's a multitude of children, so the teacher kind of has to go at the pace of the class rather than the pace of the individual children. So your child is fortunate enough right now where you can move at your child's pace. So if they need to stay on something a week longer than they would at school, they have that luxury where they're able to. For Mason, I definitely try to break things up. I try to do maybe math on Mondays and Tuesdays, and for math for us, because he is so young, is just working on numbers and shapes. And then I try to do reading and writing on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and that would just be tracing, letter recognition, things like that. And then Fridays, I kind of give him a free day, so he gets a 3-day weekend. We don't really do much on Fridays unless he wants to. If he requests to do something, then absolutely, I'm all for it. But if he doesn't, and he just wants to lay around all day and play with his toys and watch TV, that is his prerogative, and I let him do it. I also typically only do our learning activities between 30 to 45 minutes. For that age group, anything longer than that is a little excessive to me, and you're not going to, especially with them being at home, and the comfort of their home around all their toys and stuff, you're not going to keep their focus and concentration for that long. And then again, that can then lead to them becoming frustrated and not really wanting to do it, and then that adds to your frustration, and then no one's happy. Also, say social media, take everything in general. I always tell people, take everything you see on social media with a grain of salt. Everyone is going to put up their highlight reel. The majority of people are not going to post negative things that are going on or failures or things like that. They're only going to post the positive things. Also with social media, anybody can post whatever they want. Anybody can say whatever they want. There's no way for you to confirm majority of the time whether it is factual or not. So I have noticed recently a lot of people posting oh, my 1-year-old is reading books already. Maybe they are. Maybe they are. But I saw a meme the other day that said, you get on social media and people will be like, oh, my child, just asked me to watch, a documentary on Harriet Tubman. And the child, and then I see the child and I go, hey, cutie, what's your name? And they say, Sue. Really? This is the same child that asked you to watch a Harriet Tubman documentary? And she's like, come on. People embellish a lot for whatever reason. That's just our generation, I've decided. Everyone loves to seem bigger and better and superior in some form or fashion, even if they have to do that through their children. So please do not compare your child's progress to the progress that people state their children have, because again, every child is different and not everything we put on social media is the truth. You have to be patient. You have to move at the pace of the child. You have to, don't put expectations on them. Don't say, oh my gosh, I want my child to be, I want my 3-year-old to be reading novels at this point, because at 3, you're not supposed to be reading novels. If you are reading novels, that's wonderful and great, but the average 3-year-old isn't. That's not one of the milestones for the 3-year-old stage. And let them enjoy the milestones that they're supposed to. Stop trying to, or don't try to push and rush them to hit milestones that aren't supposed to be there. Let them be children. Let them enjoy, and you enjoy the progress and the journey at the pace that it's supposed to go. I read an article maybe a month or so ago where it said parents now are so focused on their child being the smartest and the brightest and doing everything so much faster than what the average child that age does, when in the end, it won't matter. Like, come, several years from now when they're all graduating high school, when they're walking across that stage and collecting their diploma, no one's gonna know who's the first child to walk. No one's gonna know who was breastfed and who was bottle fed. No one's gonna know who was the first child to speak. No one's gonna know what child, was reading before they entered kindergarten, or what child knew how to write and complete sentences before, they got it to preschool. No one's going to know, and no one's going to care. So it's like, what's the only reason people do it is they need that validation for themselves. They want the applause for themselves, not for the children. I will end my video here. I hope some of the things that suggestions and ideas I gave are helpful and are going to be useful to you and your little one. And I will try to link everything down below that is actually available for purchase. And again, if you aren't able to get a hold of any of these things because you can't go to the store, and I know that shipping is delayed on a lot of things, then try some of these at-home print items because they work just as well. As always, thank you for watching.